Rockstone Triz.
Check. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. How y'all doing?
Good morning.
Rockstone Triz, Miss Tony B. Knowing.
Hello, everybody. Oh, no. Did the people ever see me pick my nose? I did that on the camera. Yuck.
Ew.
Gross.
How y'all doing? Rockstone Triz, Miss Tony B. Knowing.
Good morning. I am good. You know, I'm as good as can be expected. I'm lying. I'm not good. I'm quite miserable. But I'm going to try my best to not be.
Okay.
I'm going to try my best to not be.
That's all that we can do.
That's all you can do is try your best. You know what I mean? Just keep swimming.
Put your best
I was about to say
forward.
just keep swinging, but that's not the same.
Put your best foot forward.
Put your best foot forward. That's what I'm trying to do. You know, Sauce was just talking about, like first thing in the morning bullshit, right? And I was like, yeah, I know. Because right now I'm on like level orange. Like the threat is real. You know what I mean? Like it's like take heed, tread lightly, stay safe, hide your wife, hide your kids. That's where I'm at right now. But I'm going to be all right. I'm going to drink some tea. Oh, you know what I need to get? I need to get some of that stuff from Mr. Larry Jordan to put into my tea in the morning.
Oh, the tincture.
The tincture, the little honey thing. I think that would, make me feel delightful.
Yeah, be careful with the board now.
Excuse me. And it's really, really crazy too because yesterday was such a great day for women in for women of color and women here that are associated with here with Spark FM. We had those great interviews with the First Lady of BMF. We had Sunny in here. We had our good friend Yana Bean was in here. Tonisa. Like I'm your sister. My name is Tony. Just add asa on the end. Tonisa.
Asa.
It's the E-I in there that get me tripping.
I.
E or I.
It's the E is pronounced I. Tonisa.
Tonisa.
Tony.
Oh, just Tonisa.
Yes.
Tony.
Tonisa.
All day, every time I was like, yep, got it now. Nope, that doesn't sound like it.
That's it. So we had that wonderful interview with them, and
Muffin. Shout out to Muffin too.
Oh, and shout out to Muffin Moses. Yes, I was getting to her.
I also found out. I don't know. You guys should check Muffin's son out.
Oh yes,
he's really dope. I didn't realize that was her son. I've been following him on Instagram for years now. His name is Silk Samurai.
Yep.
On Instagram, and he makes some of the most like amazing outfits and clothes. If you want like a custom birthday something, New Year something, he's the guy to go to.
Because I was like, where does he get these materials from? The way that those things look, like they're visually just really, really pleasing. And he models a lot of his stuff on his Instagram page. So as Triz said, check him out. And then we left here. We went to the CWE forum yesterday. Women of Color Summit, Business Summit yesterday out at, what was it? Brandeis? Who was it at? Babson College. Sauce and I went the wrong way and took us an hour to get there. But anyhow, we got there right in time for lunch, which was amazing. We had such a nice lunch.
It was a nice lunch.
Yes, and then we attended, it was a very nice lunch. They had a nice little fish, a little grilled chicken.
The French fries was
French fries. They had a puree of root vegetables and a very good Caesar salad, a nice soup. Anyhow, that was nice. We attended that. And then we were at a panel discussion with a few heavy hitters, women of color heavy hitters in this area who are, like making waves and making huge changes in the way that business is conducted for women here in Massachusetts. So that was really, really nice. I went to the CVS van. I got my health screening.
I'm still mad about it.
Oh my gosh, I got a finger stick and everything, like real stuff.
A finger stick?
Yeah, they checked my cholesterol and my glucose.
I thought they give you a finger stick in your bag. I was like, ooh, a little needle.
I'm happy to report to Larry Jordan that my cholesterol is beautiful, as is my blood pressure. So No.
People always tell me I need to check my cholesterol.
You probably
You do.
need to check
Because
your
I like
cholesterol.
butter and I like eggs.
Me too.
Yeah.
You're like a rich thing.
Me too, and I love
Something very
cheese.
rich.
I'm a very cheese.
I like cheese.
Yeah, I'm a cheese person. But no, my cholesterol is very good, as is my blood pressure.
Okay, blood pressure.
My BMI, however, mind your business. That's what BMI stands for.
BMS.
Business mind it. Like that. So anyhow, so that was fun, and then I had, like the rest of my evening was fairly nice. Hung out with the family, went to go see Auntie Andina. So I'm all right. I'm gonna be all right.
Don't. But how y'all doing? I'm coming in with the left foot coming in first and the right foot stepping in after.
No.
Whoa, is that how it usually goes?
The left foot stepping in first and the right foot stepping in after.
Is your left foot your dominant foot?
That's I like Tristan always come with the like little old man sayings. Spinning fast in the hubcap lane.
I told y'all when I get
Do what I do,
old,
what I do.
in a few years, I'm gonna be that old man with all the phrases.
Give me a 5 for 10, but loan me 3 because I only got 2.
What's that rapper name? What's it? Where he come from? What'd he say?
Who is that young man?
All these goddamn cheering around here singing all this rap music.
I hate this.
What is this y'all listening to? What is this? This ain't music.
Turn this off. Back in my day.
How you dance to this? How you dance? I'm gonna be that man. But yesterday we was out in Central Square, as usual, and had a meeting with a couple of good people, and just preparing ourselves for the winter months.
Yeah.
Holidays is coming.
The holidays is coming, and it's cold. Mm-hmm. It is cold. I have to do one good shout out to my good friend Nicole.
She's a bad influence.
She's a bad influence. She's not your average yogi. And this morning I was standing on the edge, ready to jump, and she pulled me back in. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, don't jump. We need you.
Yes.
Nice.
How about you, Sauce? What's going on with you?
¿Qué te pasa? How you doing?
What is that?
Like I feel like Noah. Like
yeah.
I was getting out the shower when I simply got a good morning text. The good morning. As soon as I saw it, I said, "Oh my god!" And I've been growling ever since. And everything
from a good morning text,
bro. Because some good morning texts are loaded depending on who you get them from, and I hate them because good morning texts be a paragraph that's inside of the good morning. It just say good morning, but you can tell that it comes with a lot. Like, okay, I owe a lot of people money. I'm on TikTok, so if you guys want to be you guys want to hear transparency of what I go through on a daily, growing a business and being a startup business and things like that. I'm doing a series on TikTok. I don't know what it's called. Maybe Growing Pains. I don't know what it is. But I owe when you owe somebody money and that person that you owe texts you good morning, they don't care if you have a good morning. They don't give a shit.
Give me my money.
They don't give a goddamn. It is a pleasantry, so that good morning really says, give me my money. Yeah. That's what it says. That's what it says. And when you get a give me my money text in the morning when you ain't got no money, boy, I tell you. I was like, what can I do right now to get some money? Run down there, get him, and take it and give it to him aggressively, like, here, take your shit. Take this shit.
My friend just said, if you feeling miserable, punch somebody in the ass. I've been doing this all morning. I've been boxing the air all.
Hate you.
That's Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac
Exactly.
and was it a house party? People don't like you for being yourself.
That's how I feel. Anyhow, this show always makes me feel better, though. I think we have some great things in store this day for our listeners and for ourselves to make ourselves feel better. The news is newsing, of course. We've got things in the news that are pretty newsworthy or that we want to share with the people. And we've got some good guests coming in here today. We have the president and CEO of ABCD coming in, stopping in to talk to us about what's going on with ABCD. And we've got one of our favorites. We all know next Tuesday is Super Tuesday. I hope you guys are out there ready to vote if you haven't early voted already. And we have one of our favorites, Ruth Z. Louisiane, stopping in to tell us about, her greatness. And we all know she's great. So this is going to be a good show today. I hope you guys are tuned in. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share it up. Share it up. Here we go. It's Saucy and Friends in the morning.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz. The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM. The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com. Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387.
Good morning. All right, let's go. Today. Let me see what you got. Hey. What you got to say? Hollywood swinging.
Yes.
Come on, Jelly. Where did weather at?
And there was a couple of stories you left off yesterday as well that we weren't
We
able
didn't
to
even get
to.
anywhere
Yeah,
into
we didn't
the
get into
whatchamacallit.
much yesterday.
Today is November 2nd. It's the second day of November.
It's 11 days till the greatest holiday ever.
Thanksgiving.
My birth-ass day.
Oh, well, right now it's 9:24, so it's my birth time. So relax.
My birth time.
My birth time.
My birth time.
Do you guys see your birth time a lot?
I do.
Every day,
All the
twice a
time.
day.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
You
Yep.
do.
It's
You do.
weird.
Yeah, I know.
It's 12, 11 all the time.
Yeah, isn't it weird?
Yeah.
Weird.
That's a good birthday, 12/11.
Yeah.
So today is the 2nd. It is now 9:25, so we can go back to your birthday.
Thank you.
It's going to be a high of 46 degrees today, a low of 29. What?
Wow.
Wow, Boston.
I can't wait to go home. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go get some soup somewhere. Where's the good soup? Y'all put in the comments where I got to go get some good soup.
Oh, I found one the other day. Somewhere got a good soup. But sunny conditions will continue all day. Wind gusts up to 13 miles per hour. So not only will it be cold, but it's going to be windy. So we're going to just freeze to death.
Yo, I'm going to go home, get some soup. I'm going to put on my fur. You know our fur, our leopard house coat?
Yes.
I'm going to put that on. I'm going to coil up in the couch. And I'm going to finish watching The Lincoln Lawyer.
No,
y'all have to watch that.
Dead serious, though. It's really going to be a low of 29 degrees today.
Today, during the daytime?
During the day? No, it's going to be a high of 46, but tonight it's going to be 29. But that's crazy because it really be cold.
Yeah.
It's actually very cold. Like, it's heat
And it
cold.
was 80 degrees and hot the other
Saturday,
day.
4 days ago.
4 days ago. This is crazy. Like, this is not...
That's not right.
This
Tomorrow's
damn
going to
El
be...
Nino.
Tomorrow's going to be
El
about a
Nino.
bill of 55. This weekend is not so bad. This weekend's going to be, high of 57 and 59. I don't know. It's just, I don't know.
What's going on this weekend?
So we have Ecstasy on tomorrow. Tomorrow night.
November 3rd.
Ecstasy
Yes.
is November 3rd. That's going to be down at Hibernian Hall.
Oh,
that is
a
with
Hibernian Hall. I like a Hibernian Hall.
Specialists and Friends, Diamonddale and SI Promotions. It's Friday, November 3rd. It's only $35 to get in. It is a grown-up, get dressed, put on your good clothes type of affair.
Oh, I've got an outfit.
An outfit
Yeah.
where the music seduces your mind, body, and soul.
Ooh,
This starts
seduction.
at approximately 10 p.m. and it goes until 2 a.m. in the morning.
Is it going to be food there?
I have no idea.
Is there places to sit?
Yes, that's what I like about Hibernian Hall, because around the perimeter edges is a lot of seating.
Maybe we can give Mr. Marshall a call and see. Maybe we can call us on later in the show.
Yeah, let me set it up.
nice.
Let me set it up. Let me set it up.
Talk about it. Hosted by Spark FM's own specialist.
You know, he is a special host.
A special host.
Yes. So you guys make sure you pull up inside a Hibernian Hall tomorrow night. I might have to recycle my red Halloween suit.
Start calling Tristan one suit.
And that, you know what? That might have to be part one of my birthday celebration.
What?
We're going to celebrate my birthday all month. Everything we going to go to because it's my birthday.
Let's go. I like it. It sounds expensive. I'm really happy.
I know, like drugs. I know.
Sounded good at first.
I just like the idea of dressing up because I just got an outfit yesterday. So I want to go to it. I'm going to go. I might. I don't know.
Nice.
Anyhow.
The next story we got here is Judge Rules. Oh, the first story.
Yes. Let's get into this. Sorry. Lock in now out. Yes, lock in now out. Word. Oh, wait, hold on.
The judge rules that the Mass governor can limit emergency shelter capacity. Now, this is something that we've been paying attention to here in Massachusetts because we keep on hearing about how all the shelters are overcrowded, right? Yeah. And they've taken down the tents at Mass and Cass.
Yes, they have.
So that's what they've been doing over there. We were watching Mayor Wu talking about that yesterday. I said, "Ooh, Mayor Wu looked tired. She looks worn." That young lady has been working hard.
I don't think Marty had as much.
No, because Marty just did whatever he wanted. He didn't really care about the people.
Yeah, she
It's really crazy how much pressure's on her just because she's a woman and she's Asian and all. She has everything just going against her.
Yeah.
So she has to do extra work just to make people believe in her and all that.
That's true.
And to please the people.
And you know what? It's so crazy how much people that care really just have to work extra hard. And that sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks. But anyhow, a judge has ruled that Massachusetts Governor Maura Healey can limit the number of families being housed in the state's emergency shelter system. This means that sometime soon, state officials will be telling families who are seeking emergency housing to look somewhere else for the first time since 1983. That is 40 years ago when Massachusetts passed its right to shelter law for families with children. You hear the clip? Go ahead.
Says she's standing firm with Governor Healey. The state's new cap of 7,500 families in emergency shelters could be reached as soon as the end of this week. The state is also saying that it could soon limit just how long families can stay at the shelters. Tonight, a judge ruling the state of Massachusetts can limit the number of families in emergency housing to 7,500.
We have reached capacity when it comes to shelter space, provider availability, and also funding. It's why we continue to call on the federal government for assistance.
Lawyers for migrant families in Boston filing suit last week to block the administration's cap, arguing the legislature was not given ample time to increase the shelter budget. The administration citing in court documents the emergency housing budget of $325 million has surpassed to $535 million and could reach $1 billion. With an imminent wait list, the state now encouraging families with a 3-page flyer to go to their last safe place. Advocates for the homeless calling it discouraging.
The only families that are deemed eligible for shelter meet very narrow criteria and have absolutely no place else to go.
According to officials, the number of families seeking emergency housing is increasing dramatically from 3,100 in mid-2022 to nearly 7,400 now and potentially 13,000 by summer 2024. Mayor Michelle Wu saying the city is working to address the lack of affordable housing and working with federal officials to address the growing migrant crisis.
Should the need arise, I know the governor and I are both tuned in, and we will go to Washington if it's needed.
Lawyers for Civil Rights Boston, which filed the suit, says in a statement it is evaluating next steps for the litigation and that the ball is squarely in the legislature's court to respond to this humanitarian crisis. Wow. We're live in Boston tonight. Jenna Flipping at the...
They said 13,000 families, not 13,000 people. They said 13,000 families. Why?
I feel like this is... In many things in life, that I've been coming to this one conclusion. If we ain't got it, we ain't got it. Like, okay, you want to sue her and you want to take the cap off of it. you take the cap off, and where are you gonna put the people? Like,
right.
what are we saying? Okay, we don't want no cap on how much we can fit. I think the cap is saying there's no more people can fit in this room here. So we have to cap it at capacity for it to still, I guess, be safe in some type of ways. So what is it that they want her to do? That's what I want to know what they want her to do.
Yeah. I don't know. And for me, 13,000 families, that's the projection. So right now they said the current figure is 7,400 families. What? That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people because a family would have to at least consist of two people.
At least two people.
At least two.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's double the number of people already. And they're projecting 13,000 families. So that's at least 26,000 people.
And you want her to take the cap. I mean, first of all, Maura, I don't know if you can put a cap because they're going to still come. So that's another thing. They're still coming. So cap or not, they're still coming. They're just going to be in our street. So I'm not sure what they're fighting about, and I'm not sure what she's capping about, because there's gonna be an influx of people here regardless.
I just really feel like everywhere we look, they're building a new building. Start putting them families in them buildings. Like, this is what are you building these buildings all over the place for? The city is gonna have to take control of some of these buildings that are being built by these private whoever, and just be like, yo, sorry, we need that real quick.
But that's like, I'm not sure why that's not.
Where is it that we just saw a building yesterday where you were like, when did that come up? Oh, right there on Morton Street.
Yes, right there on Morton Street. But that's again.
The new building.
There is all, like you're saying. There's that big village.
Oh,
that
not
they
even
build
the
on
building by the
Hancock.
bridge. The one that's kind of like right across from Noah School, going closer to Blue Hill Ave, like on the corner
Next to
of
that convenience store almost.
Yeah, like the convenience store and little Spanish store.
Yeah.
So they just built up like I don't know how many units are in there.
Everywhere.
Everywhere you look. That big one that they're building by the bridge.
I could name so many places.
That
right
whole
now.
parking lot in Morton Village, that old Purity Supreme,
And
build that out.
The thing is, I
people.
guess the only problem with that, because I'm trying to find ways to debate what you guys are saying, even though I'm that side. I guess because it will be a mixture, and these people need treatment, and they just can't be amongst regular people. I guess they have to, but I'm not sure why they can't build a whole entire building, a treatment facility building,
right?
The same 4 days that they take to erect all these other buildings, and have a 172 room building for these people to go to with treatment centers. Is it hard? Like,
well,
are we making light of the situation because maybe it's harder than we think it is?
I mean, I think that's another thing too, is that we need to distinguish like who are these people that we're talking about here, because this story seems to be concentrating on like the migrant families and just like families, these families. I don't even know if this is touching on the residents of Mass and Cass. Like, I mean, I know that they may be included in that, but I think that this is just like a different thing. So this may be just people who are just like outright homeless families, and the Mass and Cass is just a whole nother monster.
Schneider says college dorms. Ugh. You know, like that's, I don't know. There needs to be a How long it take to build a bridge?
Child.
Like what? Because every time that we think about the solution lies in Deer Island, right?
Right.
Because that is a campus that can house them all and treat them all and all the things. I'm really not sure why it took so long for why we were fighting so much with Quincy instead of Healy being like, yo, enough. Shut it up. We're building the bridge because we're going to do and whatever. But again, that's what we were talking about yesterday. Like a lot of these people with these positions, these high positions, they can sign a good ordinance once everybody else agrees on it.
Right. I don't know,
Which it sucks.
Ain't Governor Healy like the president of Massachusetts?
She is. She's president of Massachusetts.
I don't care what y'all say. This is what we gonna do. Yeah, I agree.
Like Congress and Bongress and all those things, they got to come together and appeal it and reveal it and dereel it, and we got to vote on it and hit the gavel. We got to testify. All of the things, because everybody want to stall. Everybody want to, it's for the mental health. Oh, it's for the criminals. Oh, it's for the children. Oh, it's for the homeless. Oh. Like, what are we doing?
Toya says, but who's going to pay their rent when they move in there?
The government. The same billions of dollars that they're sending over to Israel and Ukraine and all kind of stuff. The people of America could choose a little bit of $50,000 to pay the rent of the people.
And if you ain't got it, print some more.
Print more.
No more printing. No more printing.
Just give them monopoly money. It ain't real money anyways. Make them pay their rent with some fake money.
That's why things is hot.
Whatever. But that's what LaWanda's saying. They want to cap it because of the funds available. She said we can house them, but we can't feed them and care for them, so it has to be capped.
But that's very crazy to me that we can house them, but we can't give people the basic necessities of food.
Oh, Uncle Grandpa, I wasn't aware of that. He said whatever happened to the Bayside Expo Center option for Mass and Calf. Imagine that.
That was an option?
I never knew that, but imagine that. That's going to look like the Superdome after the Hurricane Katrina. Do you remember that? It was crazy in there. It was like a whole world that they hadn't had. It had its own crimes and its own police station. It had everything. It was a whole
cruise ship.
It was an enclosed world that they had there.
Put them on a cruise ship.
It sounds like you want to send them back to their country.
Like, Amistad, give us free. Give it us free.
They call it a booze
Give
cruise.
us free housing. Give us free.
Call it a booze cruise. Put them all on this. Have a good time. They got all the little cabins.
Says, I believe all these housing issues are separate. Affordable housing, rental caps, mass and cash, migrants. The state got a lot going on.
Yeah, they need to compartmentalize a little bit more because it seems like it's all one big thing, but there's so many pieces to this puzzle, and I just don't feel like anybody is trying to put the puzzle together. But keep on moving on.
More sad news that we have here. Yesterday, we were hearing about this Salem State University basketball player who was, I don't think he was, I don't know, arrest made in the shooting that killed Salem State University basketball player. A young Massachusetts man is in custody after he was charged with murder in connection with the deadly shooting of a Salem State University basketball player, which happened in Salem, just hours after Halloween festivities ended. Carl Hans Belliard, 18 of Worcester, was shot just before 1:30 a.m. on Wednesday in the area of 22 Forest Ave, which is near the intersection of Lucier Street and not far from the university.
Let's play the clip. But have they said what day is it?
What happened? Yeah. I don't. Let's see what Sean Shiabat.
Tanya Cannella of Salem, charging him with the murder of that Salem State University basketball player. But tonight, the big question is motive.
It was amazing for me as a mother. I always happy and proud of him.
He had a scholarship, a full scholarship. And he's a promising star.
Family and friends say Carl Hens Belliard was a standout player and a standout person.
Well, he was a great person, bro. He was really always around, bro. Smiling all the time, bro. Always smiling, bro. I really don't know who would have problems with him. Really. Makes no sense.
Late Halloween night, his car riddled with bullets.
Damn.
The 18-year-old's life cut short, steps away from campus, just as his story was beginning at Salem State University. His high school basketball coach mourning the young man whose Worcester team had just won state.
He worked hard every day in practice, had a positive attitude, worked hard. He was just a very ambitious young man.
Salem's former mayor, Lieutenant Governor Kim Driscoll, honoring Carl earlier this year. His team hearing condolences from the governor as his Salem teammates huddled quietly at a memorial signing a basketball. Everyone heartbroken over the senseless violence. His parents devastated, demanding justice.
I just want justice for my son because this gunshot, they have to do something about it. Too many people are losing their life for no reason.
Again, not many answers tonight about how this happened or why, but the DA said that more will be revealed when the suspect is arraigned in Salem District Court tomorrow morning. Live in Salem, Sean Shiabat, WCVB News.
Boy, I tell you, you just living your life 1 second and then you get a phone call and your life is completely done, you know? Yeah. That literally breaks my heart. I was telling my mom last night, I just never even want to imagine that feeling.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at her as she's talking, and you know, like she looked so, in all the pictures, she was always so well put together.
Yeah.
So you know that she is just
Going through
broken, and that is terrible. And I feel so bad for these parents.
It's so sad.
Jesus.
It's so sad. And why? Why? What?
And it'd be like foolishness too, like over like Halloween. It's probably, you know, like.
But they said it was
Halloween night.
riddled with bullets. That was very
that's
intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, you could have had a switch on the gun. You know.
Terrible.
I don't know. We always hear about, I think we were talking about these stories too. Actually, me and Tristan were talking about this the other day, and he was like, that never happened. Oprah said it never happened. A girl tells the Bow police she found candy with a sewing needle inside.
Oh, she lying.
She lying. 12-year-old says she bit into partially open candy bar found on the ground.
I don't know. This might be real.
Hold on.
What?
No.
What?
We're not going to do this story because already you guys are making me angry. I don't want to play this game today.
What?
Nope.
What?
No.
Why?
Move to the
Why?
Wait, I did not know that detail about this. Wait, look at that. 12-year-old said she bit into a partially open candy bar found on the ground.
Yeah, well, that's why she found a needle.
Well, that's why you found a needle.
There was
honey.
probably the needle on the ground you happened to pick up with the candy, baby girl.
Why did you do that?
You know, these kids seeking
Hot dog.
every time. And I know it's real. That's why I don't want to talk about this story. Because kids do the darnest things. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see her picking it up like, ooh, candy.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yep. It says that the incident appears to be isolated and they have received no other calls or heard about it.
It was on the needle was on the ground. That shouldn't have made news. Y'all should have told her that she should not be eating things from the floor because she don't listen. That's it.
She said she found a partially open mini Snickers bar on the ground on Longview Drive and bit into it, finding a sewing needle inside. The girl was not injured. Police chief said he hadn't heard of such an incident before. He said, I have never heard
Tristan,
of any shit
Tristan's
like that
before we read the stories, Tristan said, she lying.
The police said, yeah, it's very unusual. I can't tell you at this point exactly how it got there or what the intentions were. It is something that typically doesn't happen. The Bow community is a very safe community, and I believe him. Police are still investigating and ask that anyone with information.
Nobody has any information. There's no information that people can give you about this situation. She did it. It was her fault. She needs to be spoken to about eating from the floor. Believe me. Parents over there.
Outside on the street,
Outside on the street. It is impulsive. She probably got ADHD and IEP. Boy, I tell you. You got to deal with a lot with them kind. Ooh, child. Put it down. That's not yours. Whose drink is that? I found it. No. Why?
And then in this last WTF story, MassDOT announces a new Name a Snowplow contest for Massachusetts elementary schools. Are we bored? What's going on? What's happening? Students statewide are encouraged to submit contest applications to help name 12 state-owned snowplows. Application deadline is 5 p.m. on Friday, December 23rd. So you have until December 23rd today. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation, MassDOT, announced the launch of a new Name a Snowplow contest for statewide elementary school students in Massachusetts. The contest seeks to solicit names for 12 MassDOT snowplows that will be in service for the upcoming 2022-2023 winter season. The purpose of the contest is to celebrate the snow and ice season and to help recognize all the hard work and dedication shown by public works employees and contractors during the winter season, and I am hoping that our family will be a part of the contractors for the snowplows.
Just a couple of other headlines. The man clad in Harvard gear sought for exposing himself at Porter Square and kicking somebody who objected. Lock us up, Joe. Joe. Everybody needs to go back inside and start over. The winter is not.
Read it again.
Man clad in Harvard gear sought for exposing himself at Porter Square. And then he kicked somebody who had a problem with him exposing himself. He just kicked him.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
mind your business.
I'm doing what I do. A Nigerian brothers living in Canton get at least 6 years for defrauding lonely old ladies in pandemic employment system online.
This is what is happening?
These are just the headlines.
Are they the same Nigerian brothers that jumped Jussie Smollett?
That's what I immediately thought about that, but then I figured there's probably more Nigerian brothers out here in this world. Former North End restaurant owner, our drive-by bicyclist. He is to ride-by bicyclist. He is to remain behind bars through at least May on charges he tried to murder somebody on Hanover Street.
I believe he did. I saw it. I saw him do it.
And then a man was charged with selling drugs out of an East Boston senior apartment building.
Oh wow! How old is he? Was he a senior?
I don't know if he was a senior, but he was. Old people just want to get high too.
Yeah, they do. Them nursing homes be lit. They said them nursing homes have the highest rates for STDs. They be in there getting it,
having a little good time.
Oh yes, and then they be like, I can't get pregnant, so
yeah,
have at it.
That's what I would do.
Have at it, Fester.
Fester.
Go on, get this, Jethro.
Oh jeez.
The man had 242 grams of fentanyl, 65 grams of cocaine, 13 grams of crack cocaine. Jeez. I didn't even know they still sell crack. 15 pounds.
Don't die.
15 pounds of marijuana. They roaches.
Crack is wet.
And 15 pounds of marijuana.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hallucinogenic mushrooms.
Yes.
And approximately $8,000 in U.S. currency.
He had a general store.
Yes, he was an entrepreneur.
How old was he? Does it say?
He was 63 years old. He's of an elder himself.
Listen.
Supply to demand.
He was getting moving and shaking.
He was shaking first, then moving. Yes.
Terrible. That is terrible. Terrible.
This other story here is funny too. Pennsylvania man bangs a Yui at Roxbury Crossing at rush hour, gets arrested for high-powered loaded gun in the car.
Oh wow!
Yeah. You know that would get you. That's probable cause. You know
where he was going with that?
Yeah.
And you know, so he performed an illegal driving maneuver on Tremont Street, turning into Columbus Ave around 4:45 p.m. on Wednesday. Police say officially they ordered Eric Jenkins, 23, out of his car when they learned his license was suspended.
Ooh.
After pulling him behind and activating their blue lights and siren for making a U-turn and then parking at the bus stop. But then police say officers found a K-MIT, I don't know what that is, equipped with a laser sight and 17 rounds in the magazine in the car. Jenkins was charged with illegal possession of firearm, illegal possession of ammunition, illegal possession of a large capacity feeding device, and unlicensed operation.
And that unlicensed operation is what got him. That's what got him. They probably would have let him go with the gun, maybe. But that you can't be driving out here with no license. They're gonna get you. Especially you don't got nobody in the car to drive you home, and you illegal, and you got gun and bullets. Oh boy,
it's too much.
You are right and dirty.
Pick struggles. You can't do all the struggles at one time. I had that conversation this morning. Like it can't be everything all at once.
Everything.
It gotta be one thing at a time. I can't have all the anyway.
We got to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, and we'll be talking to the good people over at ABCD. Keep it locked right here. Spark FM Online, .1 for urban and Caribbean music.
Turn it on. Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com.
Did you know that you can now get a standard Massachusetts driver's license regardless of your immigration status? To get help with your application, a list of all required documents, and nearby appointment scheduling, visit mass.gov/WFMA. Your license is your way forward, so why not get started today? Register now at mass.gov/WFMA or call 857-368-WFMA.
Hello, Boston. This is your at-large City Councilor, Julia Mejia. In the past 2 terms, by engaging and activating residents, we have passed 15 pieces of legislation and secured millions of dollars to address the racial disparities, created countless innovative programs, and pushed the envelope to improve the social, emotional, and financial well-being of all. But our work is not done. Running for re-election isn't just about winning. It's about continuing the work we started. So let's keep pushing boundaries, break breaking barriers and building a Boston where all means all. So I humbly ask you for your vote on November the 7th so that I can continue serving you and together we can continue the work we started. Paid for by the committee to elect Julia Mejia.
This girl is on fire.
Want to give your baby a head start? Get the best protection against flu and COVID-19. Because their immune system isn't fully developed at birth, babies need additional protection. When you get vaccinated while pregnant, it can keep you and your baby from getting sick. As they get older, this can result in more time in school and daycare for them and more productive time at work for you. Vaccines are safe and effective for children as they grow. No matter where you are on your pregnancy journey, flu and COVID vaccines can boost your and your baby's natural defenses and protect your family. Stay up to date with your vaccines. Stay healthy. Talk with your trusted healthcare provider today. Brought to you by the Boston Public Health.
It's Ruthie Louisiane, your city councilor at large here, asking for your vote on Tuesday, November 7th. I'm born and raised in Mattapan and Hyde Park, a graduate of our public schools, and now a lawyer and advocate. I've spent my first term fighting and winning millions of dollars for more affordable home ownership, support for our residents coming home from prison, and for our immigrant communities, more construction jobs for people in our city, and more opportunities for our young people. My second term, I'm committed to continuing the work of racial justice and representing all of you as your at-large city councilor. So make sure your voice is heard. Vote on Tuesday, November 7th. For more information, go to rootcforboston.com or call 617-807-0062. Paid for by the Ruthie Louisiane Committee.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM.
Come on.
Spark FM.
Chick a man be ballin', these chicks pigeon toed, some of them be crawling.
Spark FM.
Oh gosh, it's me again.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. As you know, for the last 2 weeks, we've been going pretty hard with bringing you guys all the people that you need to talk to.
Oh, yes.
All of the organizations that you often hear about, but you're like, oh, I know them. But do you know what they do?
Yeah.
Do you know where they're going? Do you know what they have planned? Do you know how much great resources are out here for you great people of Boston? A lot of you guys have also grew up learning about this organization or knowing about this organization, ABCD, Action for Boston Community Development. And today we sit with the CEO. The CEO of ABCD. So we get all the answers. Yeah. She's got all of the answers.
Everybody's life has been touched by ABCD. Everybody's life. Yeah.
I know. So this is one of the things that we're really excited to always bring to the people at Spark FM. Really excited to have you here. Welcome. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. For having me. Yes. We started the show a little bit before we actually went back on air, and I was like, no, save it, because we have all these questions that I have. So introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, and I already did a lot, but
Yes. So as you mentioned, I'm the CEO. I've been the CEO since last July, but I've been at ABCD for 25 years.
Yeah.
Doing different positions, and most recently the COO, and had the fortune to be named CEO last year. I was very familiar with ABCD coming because I grew up in Boston. I grew up in Mattapan, and had a summer job as well.
Yes.
Knew about all the services.
Those summer jobs helped a lot of people.
So the summer works program,
Summer
red
Works
shirts.
program. So when I first got to ABCD, I was running their Child Care Choices of Boston program.
Oh,
which,
yes.
provides vouchers for families and helps child care providers and family child care providers. I then ran Head Start. So I was at Head Start for a while, and we serve 2,000 children all across the city. Ages 0 to 5. In every neighborhood. We have 24 centers across the city, and then I was Chief Operating Officer. So at ABCD, we do a little bit of everything that helps people get to where they want to be, and whether that's housing programs or job training programs, reproductive health, all that. I can go on and on.
I know that a lot of people are familiar with ABCD through the heating assistance.
That's what I was. Because when you said housing, I wanted to break those down a little bit until what are some of the resources that ABCD actually provides for people? And I know you mentioned a couple of those bullets, but kind of breaking those down a little bit.
So in the housing space, we really provide housing counseling and search. So. We don't have our own affordable housing, but we help people who are, on the verge of eviction or just looking for help. We've been helping folks through the city who are in danger of homelessness or have already become homeless. So a lot of that advice, a lot of searching for housing, a lot of financial literacy, trying to help people be able to afford housing. And so as you mentioned, fuel assistance.
Which is very, very important, especially since we've been talking about the weather.
Yes. Fuel assistance kicked off on November 1st. So yesterday we kicked off the fuel assistance program, which means people can apply. It is income-based, but people can apply to receive help to pay their heating bills. So
where would they go
gas.
to do that?
So they can go to our website, which will take them to an online portal. They can come down to the downtown office. They can go to any one of our neighborhood service centers, which are all listed on our website. So everywhere, there's something in Mattapan.
I was going to say there's ABCD locations all over.
Everywhere.
And see,
very
I feel
convenient.
like that's something that a lot of people don't know about either. Like I know that the one behind, is it the courthouse?
Yep.
Is it yeah.
So
and
on Park Street.
And then when I'm driving randomly, I might run into something and I'm like, I didn't know they had it over there, dude.
And even the Thelma Burns building is an ABCD building as well. She was. We went to Metco, and she was the coordinator for our program while we were there. So
I went to Metco as well.
Oh, did you?
Where'd you go?
I went to Foxborough.
Oh, in Belmont.
We're all Metco.
All Metco alumni here.
And Thelma Burns, as you know, was a long time ABCD for 30 years.
Oh yeah.
So she was a mentor to us all.
Yes.
But yes, Metco. All 12 years.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, me too. No, second grade. So tell us about what's going on with ABCD. You have something very exciting coming up tomorrow.
So yes, tomorrow night we have our annual Community Heroes Celebration, where we honor people in the community. They can be volunteers, they can be professionals, they can be youth, and we honor them for their commitment and their giving back to the community. So there's a woman, Ruth Rollins, who started Lipstick, which is really helping people, families, moms.
I'm really excited that Lipstick is still around too, because that's been a long running organization. That is great.
So we're honoring her. We're honoring another woman, Kathy Latore, who is at Boston Medical Center, really helping our Head Start children receive dental services.
Oh, yes.
So folks like that, other people who volunteer in our Food Access Center, helping people get food, because that's has been a huge issue.
We were just talking about it just now with the migrant crisis that we have going. Is it called? Yeah, it is a crisis at this point. And someone in the comment, Lawanda, was saying how we can almost house them, but we can't feed them. So that food crisis is is strong and real.
Yeah.
We thought coming out of the pandemic, okay, maybe something. It has increased.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Coming out of the pandemic.
Well, they were saying, the story that we were reading said that right now it's about 7,500 families that are homeless, and they're projecting that next year it could rise to 13,000 families.
Mercy. Yeah.
So even for you to mention, like that ABCD assists with finding housing, that's a really, really great resource.
We have been supporting families, across the city, whether they're new arrivals or folks who are really, because before this happened, everybody was having difficulty finding housing.
Exactly.
There is no affordable housing in Boston.
There really isn't.
I mean, they say
Unless
there
you have
are.
a voucher or subsidy.
Exactly.
Seriously. And then how long is the waiting list for those things, So, yeah.
Because I know many people that are like, I can't get vouchers, I can't this. Like, it's a wait and it's a process for everything. How has, going back to the event that is coming up, it's a pretty powerful, heavy hitting event that you guys have put together for tomorrow. Can you tell us a little bit about the details of it?
Yes, so we have what we call a keynote conversation. And so Lawrence O'Donnell, who is the host of MSNBC's The Last Word, who's been a journalist, an actor, just a renowned person in the journalism world, and he is going to interview Justin Pearson, who's one of the Tennessee Three.
Yes. And that was that. That story is powerful. So I know people are just. People are excited to hear what he has to say.
Yeah. And, he inspires us not only just on the gun violence issue, which of course now is tragically in the news, but also, just his voice for democracy, his action as a young person really trying to fight for equity.
How old is
voice.
he? He's
28.
28, okay.
28.
Oh, he's older than I thought. Good, okay. Yeah.
But he started several years ago. So, he's really been, and he actually went to Bowdoin, so he's familiar with New England. He lived in Boston.
Oh, okay.
He worked for a nonprofit.
Tell him I said welcome home.
So, yes.
And Lawrence O'Donnell was actually a Boston native too. I
He is
see
a
here.
Dorchester native as well.
I didn't know that either. There's so
Yes.
many Bostonians around the world
Or
that
people
we don't
from Massachusetts. Not to be tragic, but Matthew Perry was born here as well.
Yes. So it's also kind of a little bit of a homecoming.
Yeah.
We have a nice entertainer, a young lady who is from Lynn.
Yes.
And she was on America's Got Talent. She was on The Voice.
Amanda Mena.
Yes. So that's going to be fun. So it is.
Oh, and my good friend Glenn Jones. I like him.
MC.
Yes, I like him.
Yeah. So it's something, it's going to be inspiring. It's going to be fun. That's what we try to do each year is think about some of the issues that are impacting our community and raise them up, but in a fun way. We like to put on our high heels and get out there.
We sure
and
do
fun.
like to get dressed up.
We were talking about that.
Please join us. if you'd
Yes.
like.
And where is this taking place?
Copley Marriott.
Copley Marriott. And what time does it start?
It's 6 o'clock is the reception, and
Very
dinner's
nice.
at 7.
Dinner.
And, yes. Dinner.
We love dinner.
A little bit of fun.
Very nice. So 6 p.m. social hour, 7 p.m. program and dinner. That definitely seems like something to look forward to. And who are the local heroes that are being honored? Can you tell us some of them?
So
have those been revealed yet?
Yes, they
Okay.
have. They're on our website.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you
I'm on
see
there now.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
I got you.
Yeah.
There's 18 of
Oh,
them.
wow. That's
18
why.
walk-ins.
I can see where you're at.
Yeah. I'm
Ruth
sorry.
Rollins, as I mentioned, from Lipstick. Emily Hodge.
Yeah.
Maria Perez.
Want me to help you out? I have the list in front of me.
Okay, go for it.
Yes. Anybody's name here. We have Sandra McCarthy, Kian Lang, Joanna Rule,
Hold your applauses till after the names have been read.
Maria Perez, Huling Zhu, Kathy Laturi, Emily Hodge, Stephanie Voltaire, Kathleen O'Brien.
Oh, I know Voltaire.
Yeah.
Terry Groom, Ronisha Rouse, Diane Crump, Dr. Jihu, Dr. Jihu Lacante, Alma Wright, Victoria
Victor.
Victor Baldassari, Ruth Rollins, Letitia Bento, and William Watkins.
Wow, that's awesome.
So how do the celebrations usually go? What is usually what people are attending, and what's their takeaways?
Usually at the beginning, and this is what we have planned for this year, is we will highlight the heroes. So there's a beautiful video of all of the different heroes kind of telling their story. You can read that on the website as well, but the video will highlight their story and what they've given back, why they've been chosen. And they're really unsung heroes. People who
There's a lot
don't
of
get a
them
lot of
here.
attention. You're everyday people who really are, who make what ABCD what it is, what make our communities what they are. And so we'll do that first, and then we'll have dinner. And then Lawrence O'Donnell and Justin Pearson will have their conversation. And it's a chance, too, for people to get together. So who's in the audience? It's a lot of community members. There's some corporate folks. There are staff from ABCD. So we're all really mingling. It's a real diverse group of folks just celebrating the heroes, but also understanding this, we're in tough times.
We need all the help and resources that we can possibly get. And I think that when you, not that this is an incentive, but when you almost incentivize people and you actually acknowledge them, I think it gives them a lot of motivation to continue to do the work that they're doing. So I think this is a really honorable thing to do, and it's just really kind of shedding light on those who are doing the work.
Right. Absolutely right.
When it comes to doing the work, in your role, in your job, how do you feel that ABCD is doing, with supporting the community?
We're supporting every single day, and as I said, it's because of people like Ruth. It's because of people like Maria and Kathy and Emily, and the staff. I mean, I've been there 25 years. The reason why I've been there 25 years is because of the work we do and the people who work there, and the communities that we serve. I mean, obviously, I'm from the community, so I understand what people are struggling with, and I do feel like, if you stick with it and keep on, trying to get the services, trying to get education, trying to take advantage of some of the opportunities. There's not enough. There are not enough opportunities. Let's put that there first, that we can help.
I'd like to know, it's just a random question, but how many families have you guys serviced over the years?
Oh gosh! Well, each year, let's put it this way: each year we help more than 100,000 families.
Wow!
And
how long has ABCD been around?
Since 1962.
1962.
So we
the time
started.
I was born.
Wow. Okay, so we started in '62. No,
I'm
just gonna say, I feel great.
In my heart, I'm at least 80.
She's definitely at least. At least. Always been.
Okay, that's great. So 62 we started, and we have been designated in 1964. We were designated as the region's anti-poverty program. By the federal government. So we have kind of a designation. There are community organizations like us all across the state, all across the country. They're called community action agencies, and they're rooted in the community. Their mission is to really center their work.
What would be examples of other ones that have that kind of title? Besides,
so community teamwork in Lowell, Community Action Inc. in the North Shore.
And these all kind of have the same structurized
yes.
Because I'm looking at the website now, and I know you named off a couple of them, but you guys do like all the things: career development, children, education, elders, energy, essentials, financial, food, health, housing, immigration, and youth.
Yes.
All the way down to immigration.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we do it all. And that is, to your point about community action, is really about a holistic way to help families and communities. It's not just one thing. And there are many organizations that focus on one thing. We focus on all of the needs, or refer or connect with other organizations. So it's a community action
and collaborative work too.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, because you are an ABCD hero as well. So thank you very much.
Can you speak on the benefits of a program like this being in a city like Massachusetts?
So if we didn't have ABCD, I don't know where
Yeah.
communities would be.
Yes.
That's all
Yeah.
I can say. Because, as you said, we've touched hundreds and thousands of people.
That's millions.
Over
That's
millions.
millions.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't added it up,
Millions.
but millions.
Yeah.
And that's Head Start children. And we
I was
have
Head
so
Start.
many. Did you go to Head
I can
Start?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Where? Which
80.
program?
It was the one that was on Dudley Street.
So that would have
It was a brick
been,
building.
Yes.
Sunnyside Daycare.
Was it that?
That's where
because I went too.
I went to Sunnyside Daycare.
What's Sunnyside ABCD?
We had a partnership with Sunnyside.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
actually nursery.
Okay.
Well, it was associated.
Yep.
Probably when you went, it was associated. But
Oh.
yes, but we have
It
a
was
we have a
full
partnership
score.
Well, I'm right there with you. This Head Start works.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Head Start works.
And I think that's good because the programs that you have, because you have so many of them, they kind of work in succession with each other.
Exactly.
So almost if you start in Head Start, you are aware of the organization, and usually you will find other things that you need to have for ABCD. And one of the most powerful things is teen jobs. Like we're seeing an influx of, let's call it boredom instead of bad behavior. We're seeing an influx of boredom across the scene when it comes to our teenagers because there's not enough for them to do. And ABCD supplying jobs, even back in the day, was so important because I feel like everybody either had a red shirt, was working in the daycare, was the lifeguard, something.
I was at the Boston Public
You
Library.
see, at the library,
The Bird Street Gym.
there was teenagers everywhere, at least working and helping families. So that in itself is another way to, by supplying jobs to teens who are able to take some of the burden off of their families, kind of obviously helps in a really, really great way. So, I'm really happy that ABCD is still around. Do you guys have any big plans for the future or anything that you're thinking about rolling out or needs that you see that need to kind of be collaborated on?
I definitely, and you've talked about it, certainly housing is a huge need, and we've again seen food security as one of the top needs. We've been doing a lot of work, as you said, with youth. And youth employment. We actually run 2 alternative high schools.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one that's a recovery high school for students who are recovering from substance abuse, and then one is just a traditional alternative high school, which
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, not at all.
Yes.
So how's the recovery school going?
Well, we were one of the first to start actually, we were the first to start. It's called Ostagai High School, and it's in collaboration with Boston Public Schools and even other schools in the state. Because of the 4 recovery high schools, you can go to any one of them, no matter where you are in the state. Your school will basically pay for you to go, and it's an incredible environment for students, to young people to learn and be sort of free from
Do they live on
their-
campus?
No, a lot have been either in outpatient homes or live at home. So we don't have a campus. We have a campus just for classes, just for school. That one's located downtown, and the University High is at the Thelma Burns building. So
really?
and that's an alternative high school as well. So it's an excellent school that we've been able to run.
I'm looking at the impact report and the people that you guys serve, and I thought this was really interesting. Federal poverty line is 64% of ABCD customers live at or below 125% of the federal poverty level, which means a family of 4 lives on less than $33,000.
How?
How?
What do you mean? How,
a family of what?
And because you have to get supports to do that. People cannot live on that.
No,
you can't live. A healthy life, a safe life. That you have.
Your
to get
quality
other
life is
supports.
not good at all.
So,
at that point.
So that's why, that's where we would come in with fuel assistance. We would come in with food.
And that's something else that people don't really think about is those types of things. A lot of people always look for, financial. We need money in order to pay these things. But oftentimes, people literally just need tools and resources. So if I can get some assistance with paying off this electricity bill, or I can get it reduced in any type of way, that changes a lot for me. I don't necessarily need the money. I just need you to get some of this debt off my back, or to kind of give me some support. Some other tips in here: housing status. Only 18 people own 76% rent. 18% own 76% rent, and 5% is homeless. How do you define homelessness? What is it like you don't have? Yes. There's no way for you to get, or is it that you don't have? You just
so
don't
you don't have a roof over your head, essentially. You don't have it, or you could be staying with relatives. Right. So that's also a definition, particularly for families.
Okay,
so if you're what we call doubled up. Yeah. So if you're doubled up and you're staying with relatives, you don't have your own home.
Right. Okay. Yeah. See, I always wonder about that, because we were talking earlier too about the people over at Mass and Cass, and always wondering, like, if they were able to be identified, would they have, family structure, or would they have any support, any relatives or things like that? So it's interesting to read stats about how Boston poverty is. Yes. So it puts things in a little bit in more perspective. Okay, go ahead.
And then just to bring it back to the event tomorrow. So I feel like, just going through the list of the heroes that you have there, it looks like they're from all over the state, which is amazing. Yes. And they touch on all walks of life, which is also amazing. I'm sure a few of them are able to help in the ways that you guys have been speaking about. So I think it looks like it's going to be a great event. I'm looking forward to hopefully being there. We going to this? Yeah. We are. You have any?
And we going.
Are we gonna go? Can we come? Looking forward to that, and I think it's gonna be awesome. I'm really looking forward to hearing Justin's story. And what he has to say as a young person that's moving and shaking in this business. So this is so awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
If you are interested in attending, are there still tickets available?
There are still tickets.
Yep. If you are interested in attending, you can buy tickets and learn more at abcdheroes.org. Again, that's abcdheroes.org. I believe Tristan has put the website in the chat section, so you guys can go click on that. You can purchase tickets right there. Again, it's on November 3rd. That's just tomorrow. That is tomorrow from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. And it's going to be at the Boston Marriott Copley Place, 110 Huntington Avenue. Go right onto the website and you'll see all of the information that you need. And it's going to be a celebration. It's a celebration of heroes. It's a celebration of community. It's a time for us to get dressed up and look cute. Put on our high heel shoes. Bring your Crocs in the car.
I know. It says until 11. That sounds like a party.
We're hoping Amanda's going to take us into the evening.
I love that. So reserve your table. Buy your tickets. If you want, are you still accepting sponsors? If you do want to sponsor the event, that information is also on the website. I'm really excited for this, and I'm really excited that you guys are here to kind of open the community up a little bit more to the helpful ways that ABCD is around for. This is also not the last conversation we'll have with you, because we do want to make sure that, as you guys roll out new programs, if you have anything that you want the community to know about, we're here for you guys to get that message out there.
That would be great.
Absolutely.
All the time.
Excited.
I'll be back.
Come on. We have fun here.
I'll bring friends.
And tea. I haven't had my morning tea, so I don't know how I'm this energetic or happy. But I think it's because, the type of people that we bring in here and the things and the services that you guys provide and how selfless you are in making 25 years at ABCD is no small feat. So like she said, you are also should be honored, and I'm pretty sure you have already. But, it's important that people like you are around and you're making yourself aware and visible in the community. Thank you so much, Sharon, for everything. Shout out to Jamie. Jamie's outside. We're going to go to a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. All that information we talked about will be live on YouTube later on today, so you guys can find out more information.
Yes.
And if you are in our comment section, click the link, go to events, and you can find everything you need to know about the ABCD Community Hero Celebration for 2023. Yes. With that said, we'll go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head-on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Finally Home is a must-read step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time home buyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
Want to give your baby a head start? Get the best protection against flu and COVID-19. Because their immune system isn't fully developed at birth, babies need additional protection. When you get vaccinated while pregnant, it can keep you and your baby from getting sick. As they get older, this can result in more time in school and daycare for them, and more productive time at work for you. Vaccines are safe and effective for children as they grow. No matter where you are on your pregnancy journey, flu and COVID vaccines can boost your and your baby's natural defenses and protect your family. Stay up to date with your vaccines. Stay healthy. Talk with your trusted healthcare provider today. Brought to you by the Boston Public Health.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM.
Come on.
Spark FM.
Y'all, chick a man be ballin'. These chicks pigeon toed. Some of them be crawling.
Spark FM.
Oh gosh, it's me again.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Trying to write an outro, up late putting lyrics in my notes in, singing voice memos, wanna let the shit go for my brain implode. I'd be afraid to be too honest, but I don't know other options. Know the youth watch me, basing my voice tone like mommy. I know wherever I go, she got me. International show, he spot me. International flows, come find me. Quisqueyana, shout out to the motherland. Taino culture, proud to be Dominican. First language is Espanol. If you're wondering why I'm slick with the tongue, I be rolling my R's everywhere that they don't belong. When the salsa comes on, then you know we gone. Oh, yo no sé, no, I don't know. Oh, yo no sé, no, why you chose me, chose me. Oh, no, no sé por qué. No, no, I don't know why, no, why you chose me. Y yo no sé, I don't know why you chose me. Y yo no sé, I don't know why you chose me. Yeah, I'm me so brown. We always get in trouble cause we so loud. Executing this music with the people I grew with. Got my team hustling my sound. And I seize my pain to hit the stage and entertain. Try to save face till I'm backstage. Using my lyrics to rage. I'm provoking the change, taking the risk cause it's calling my name. They say new levels, new devils. Me and Mikey fighting them off like we vessels. We far from perfect and we know we're bold in purpose. And we show it, so he keeps blessing me. Death grip on my peace, keep my sanity. Ain't nobody stressing me. Stand firm even when the world is testing me. Got the storm on my wrist, they ain't getting me. No, no. Oh, yo no sé, no, I don't know. Oh, yo no sé, no, why you chose me, chose me. Oh, no, no sé por qué. No, no, I don't know why, no, why you chose me. Y yo no sé, I don't know why you chose me. Y yo no sé, I don't know why you chose me.
You're listening to Spark FM online.
Spark.
Do that there.
Spark FM online, number one for urban and Caribbean music. Today's a good day. Thanks to our good counselor. We'll be talking to her a little bit later, in a second. A little later in a second. We want to get into our national and world news, and then we'll be speaking to Counselor at Large Ruth Z. Louisiane. And she is our favorite right now. She's got my vote.
I may be covered in flakes, but I'm happy.
I'm telling you, boy, I'm going to run in there. She's getting the first one, the first vote. I know I got 4. She's getting the 1.
She might get the only one for me. Good point. Straight from the headlines and social media, this story about the Brooklyn apartment shooting. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it by now.
And then have you seen that? I sent it to you yesterday. The Brooklyn shooting apartment shooting is with the man. He went to go confront his neighbors on the second floor, and then when the neighbor came out with a scissors pointing at him, then something happened. Next thing, he ended up massacring them.
What?
Like literally, he massacred them.
Well, so a man shot and killed Wednesday morning by police has been identified as a suspect accused of fatally shooting a father and his stepson inside an apartment building Sunday night in East Flatbush, Brooklyn. I don't know. Just said he hasn't seen the footage. I actually just watched it for the first time yesterday. I didn't want to watch it before, but I watched it yesterday. It was sick. The NYPD has been searching for Jason Pass, 47. He was shot around 7:10 a.m. at 187 Bay 41st Street in the Graves End section, police said. According to the chief of patrol, John Sell, police received a hit for a license plate on the black car associated with the suspect rounding the block to confirm the plate. Shell said as officers got out of their police cars, Pass jumped out of his own car with a knife in his hand and took off running. Backup officers arrived and were able to isolate him, communicating with him for 15 minutes to try to get him to drop the knife. But police said the suspect did a full sprint and charged the officers, leaving them with no choice. Our officers on a Wednesday morning at 7:10 doing their job, approaching a person wanted for a double homicide, did everything they could to neutralize this person.
This is my thing. Well, let's go to the thing first, and then I got a couple of questions
Michelle
that I
Ross
want us
live
to talk
for us
about.
in Bath Beach, Brooklyn.
We're live in Bath Beach, Brooklyn. Michelle Ross, Fox 5 News.
What just
What?
happened?
Oh, maybe it started at the end, but keep going, Tone.
They said did everything to neutralize this person and get the knife out of his hand. They were forced to defend themselves. Pass was shot multiple times in the chest and right leg.
Mercy.
He was taken to NYU Langone Hospital in Brooklyn, where he was pronounced dead. The NYPD said they also had hostage negotiations on the scene, but that he didn't give them a chance. The officers were transported to for ringing in their ear. The knife was also recovered at the scene. Surveillance video obtained earlier this week by the New York Post showed the moments leading up to the Sunday shooting at the Flatbush Gardens complex on Brooklyn Avenue.
And here's the
fire after the suspect charged at
warning.
them with a knife. This after they used license plate reader technology to track him down.
All right, Fox 5's Michelle Ross live for us in Bath Beach, Brooklyn, where all this unfolded earlier today. Michelle.
Steve, Natasha, the NYPD says detectives threw everything at this case. They followed up on every lead, trying to identify a vehicle connected to that suspect. That car still on scene here more than 10 hours later as a search warrant is pending for the black Honda. Now, police put out an alert on cameras and on that license plate reader technology all over the 5 boroughs, and this morning is when they got a hit.
Sound like firecrackers, and you could tell it was gunshots, and I'm like, really, on my corner?
It wasn't the morning greeting residents in Bath Beach were expecting.
We heard the gunshots, kind of sounded like popcorn in the distance, and then we ducked, everybody ducked, and then we just waited for it to get completely quiet.
Police fired 4 gunshots at a man on Bay 44th Street, killing him.
The good news is they caught a cold-blooded killer. I saw what he did. So good detective work.
The suspect was Jason Pass, the man seen on surveillance video shooting his neighbors in an East Flatbush apartment building on Sunday. Police say he killed a father and stepson. They found the car using license plate reader technology and made a traffic stop to verify the plate.
As they exit their police car, they walked up to the car.
Oh, boy.
The male jumped out of the car with a knife in his hand and took off running.
Police quickly isolated him and spent 15 minutes communicating with him, trying to convince him to drop the knife. But then he sprinted towards the police, charging them with the weapon.
Our officers were forced to defend themselves, to stop the threat, and discharge their firearm, striking the subject 4 times.
Although police caught the fugitive, the situation is leaving neighbors shook up.
I have fight or flight in my body all morning. I mean, this is an unavoidable reality for all of us.
And the NYPD says that they had ESU and hostage negotiators on the way, but they...
What do you, I don't know how many of you guys saw the original video, but there was hallway camera or surveillance camera in the hallway where that happened, if you're familiar with the story. For me, it's always going to be, I'm not sure why we shoot to kill when there's why we bring in guns to a knife out. Even if he charged at you, somebody could have shot him in his knee. Yeah. Shot it right off.
Yeah.
And I don't
understand. Do you think that this might be one of those cases? We do know that there's people who have, like some kind of psychosis or whatever that goes on with them, and they want to be killed by the police. Yeah. I don't know what that's called.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, it sounded like that's what he was doing by charging.
I'm not going back to jail.
Yeah, by charging at the police. I think that he realized. If you saw the video, we were watching it yesterday and kind of trying to analyze it. He did pause before, like he pulled out the gun, paused for what seemed like a few seconds before he actually started shooting. I think this guy probably he was just messed up in the head after all that transpired.
What was the reasoning?
There had been a dispute going on between him and his upstairs neighbors for some time. Apparently, there had been they were making noise over his head or something like that. So he comes upstairs to confront them, and the video opens with he's talking to the wife, and they're arguing back and forth. And the son is standing in the hallway, but behind his mother while they're talking. The stepfather, the wife's husband, comes out, and when he comes out, he has the scissors in his hand, and he approaches the guy with the scissors in his hand and kind of holds the scissors, to the guy's face and says something. And then he steps back. The father steps back with the scissors in his hand, and the guy pulls out the gun. He pauses for a second, and then the stepfather is being pulled away by the mother. You can pull up the video and find it. And as he's walking away, the man shoots him in the back.
Where you send it? Instagram?
On Instagram. Yes. Go look in the Instagram. I don't want to see nothing.
Is it Instagram or is it?
I ain't got nothing.
Audio pictures.
Spark.
From Spark sent it to you.
Yeah. He shoots him in the back. And then the son looks like he goes to try to tackle him or confront him. And he shoots the son 4 times. and then he goes back. Coach Chris said he sent it. And then we see him go back to the stepfather and do like a kill shot to the head. It's the execution that he did of these people in the hallway.
Wow, that's
Let me
crazy.
give so in this situation, in these kind of situations, I do think that you are completely right.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he knew that after what we probably saw and he probably saw going around the internet too, checking to see if anybody knew what he did.
Yeah.
You realize that after you shoot somebody and then shoot their son and then kill shot him and then execution them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's most likely, depending on what state you are, that could very well be capital murder.
Yeah.
And that's crazy because he
What
didn't
is wrong with this?
Bro,
What
you
is
see
this?
it? You watching?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh.
bro.
Yeah.
Yep. It is wildness going on in America.
And unfortunately with that, it's something that you can't stop watching. You know what I mean?
Because you're trying to analyze the video.
It. I watched it a few times yesterday after not wanting to watch it, and it was just like, damn,
Why
this
did he
is.
have to go kill his son for?
Did you see the way that he killed him? Like shot him up and then went back and shot the man in the head. I don't know. I think he lost it. He must have lost it.
Jesus.
And still ain't found it when they found him yesterday. So
No, they didn't find him. And things like that always kind of stress me out because it's like, really?
Yeah.
Golly.
Yeah.
But he went out. Yeah, he went out because he didn't want to. He knew he was never getting back out.
Yeah.
You're not getting out for that. That's not self-defense. That's nothing.
That was plain. That was murder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it was
suicide by
premeditated because he went up there with his gun and confronted them. So we knew, that's just really bad. A Miami police officer has been charged with a DUI after he's found passed out in his car.
Nice.
Passed out with his gun in the car. That's not okay.
It's not.
A city of Miami police officer found himself in legal trouble after investigators said he was arrested for driving under the influence. According to the police report, 31-year-old Giovanni Salvagier was discovered passed out behind the wheel of an Infiniti on the southbound ramp off of Interstate 95 near the intersection of Northwest 6th Ave and 62nd Street just before 7 a.m. on Tuesday. The encounter leading to his arrest involved Miami-Dade School Police, who responded after receiving reports of a driver passed out behind the wheel. Miami-Dade Public Schools was flagged down in the area of, Miami-Dade School Police, was flagged down in the area of Northwest 4th and all of that stuff. They said the police report states he was found behind the wheel of a silver Infiniti with dark tints and was nodding in and out at the wheel and had slurred speech.
Oh boy, here goes the story.
Yeah.
Busted for DUI.
Busted.
This cop became an inmate, as reported first
He
on
looked
7
familiar as hell.
after being arrested Tuesday.
Look like Method
His
Man.
chief says he was spotted passed out in his car on the road.
Miami-Dade School Board Police was flagged down in the area of Northwest 4th Avenue and 62nd Street.
It was in that car, which wasn't a police vehicle.
That looked like a
cops
little
say
smoky
they
club
found
we was at.
31-year-old Miami officer Giovanni Sauvagier,
Sleeping behind the wheel.
and described as nodding in and out with slurred speech, having a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage from his breath. Plus, bloodshot, watery eyes, and his eyelids were droopy.
Dang.
But that's not all.
They discovered that the individual was holding what appeared to be a firearm.
The guy's armed with a firearm.
you-
Get us
oh.
units over here.
Due to the gun and the cop's compromised state, the defendant was put at gunpoint.
I managed to disarm the subject. We got him in custody.
It's what somebody at the now suspended officer's listed address told 7's Alex Browning.
Okay, we were looking for Giovanni. Does he live here?
The officer had bonded out of jail hours after being booked.
We are not above the law.
Miami-Dade PD's Daniel Ramos Aviles was busted this week, too, for alleged sex crimes on children.
Sex crimes, geez.
This reporter is
dramatic.
Yeah.
Is capable of doing this to his own 6-year-old child.
Oh no, not his
What
own
is he-
child.
What else is he capable of?
His own department says he raped and molested family members.
What y'all say?
Absolutely
What y'all say?
That
The
child
reporter
released,
is what? The reporter's
says an
dead
arrest
on.
warrant. The 4-year-old was taken in by his own department, which later called it
Jesus.
all appalling.
He's an officer?
That Miami-Dade cop remains locked up tonight. Both cops have pending open cases, and we're live.
DeSantis, get your peoples.
Bro, but how do you be a cop? How you be a cop doing all the things, all of it wrong?
All the bad things. It's not the same person. It was a different person. But that's crazy. That's a mess. That is a mess. What else we got here? Justin Trudeau draws backlash for posting his son's beheaded what?
What are you reading today?
Slams for son's beheaded costume, tone deaf amid Israel and Palestine conflict. Oh, because I don't know what I thought.
You thought he beheaded his son?
I thought his son was beheaded over there, and he showed pictures of him, of it. But the son wore a beheaded costume. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has come under fire for his son's insensitive headless Halloween costume, with followers pointing out how tone deaf the Prime Minister is given the situation in the Middle East. In snaps shared to Instagram Tuesday, the Prime Minister gleefully posed with his 9-year-old son, Hadrian, whose head pops out of his black robe to give the illusion of him carrying his own severed head in his hands. Justin joked about nothing stopping Hadrian from trick-or-treating, even though he seems to have misplaced something. But users on the platform argue it's Justin who's forgotten something, that a few beats back, babies and others were beheaded. What do y'all think?
Leave him alone. I don't know.
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
Everybody has their head in their hand in Halloween.
Yeah,
I don't think that they made that costume and was like, oh yeah, Palestine.
And they went back to his father's 2001 Aladdin costume where he was in blackface.
Oh.
Hold on.
They said that it's tone deaf, and the Heart says this is the most tone deaf thing we can do at the time when children are getting their heads blown off in Palestine, is what they said. Others branded Justin's Halloween snaps as disgusting, insensitive, and disrespectful, as well as mighty inappropriate, and callousness is beyond belief. Some folks weren't as disapproving, criticizing those who turned Hadrian's Halloween costume into something political, and I tend to lean towards that side. This isn't the first time that Justin has come under fire for an insensitive costume. We all remember his apology tour in 2019 when snaps emerged of him sporting a darkened complexion and an Aladdin costume back in 2001. Maybe he should sit Halloween out next year.
Yeah, maybe just not. He shouldn't.
Leave these people alone.
Yeah, I don't think
2001, where it was a different place.
That was just a day.
No, nobody can play Halloween now. Damn.
Yeah, and not during a war.
Oh.
During the war, everybody not
canceled it. They should have just canceled the whole
it would be different if they were like living in Palestine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I feel like right now everybody's doing the most.
They got their panties in a bunch.
No, they do. And speaking of panties in a bunch, the House has rejected the efforts to expel Representative George Santos.
Oh, Lord. Are you serious?
The House has rejected the efforts to expel George Santos?
Yes, Representative George Santos survives effort to expel him from the House.
Forget it. No.
But he still faces an ethics report.
Boy, bye.
All right.
Girl,
all
goodbye.
Right.
George Santos is still up and running and
they said he easily survived the vote on Wednesday to expel him from the House.
America is in a shambles.
Yes, most Republicans and 31 Democrats opted to withhold punishment while both his criminal trial and a House Ethics Committee investigation proceed.
You want to know what's crazy? Because we were just talking to ABCD about the Tennessee 3 that got expelled for protesting and speaking up. This man, we still don't know his name, gender, race, age, familiar ties.
Who
we don't
his
know.
Mama is.
We
nothing.
don't know nothing about George Santos. That's not even his real name. And y'all are really okay. Wow, America.
It's so crazy. It says the effort to kick George Santos out of the House was led by his fellow New York Republicans who are anxious to distance themselves from a colleague infamous for fabricating his life story and accused of stealing from donors, lying to Congress, and receiving unemployment benefits he did not deserve. So his own people want to kick him out, and they will not. But the resolution failed.
The lady over here that did a little something with her unemployment benefits is facing federal charges, and George Santos get to be in Congress and hang out.
They took my whole damn state tax return turn.
Oh no.
Yes, they did. But George Santos still in the damn house.
Had you been a politician, they would have.
Right. Had I lied about all my stuff, it would not have went that way. But the resolution failed to gain the required 2/3 votes. Supporters would not even gain a simple majority, with the final vote being 179 for expulsion and 213 against.
So
crazy.
all
These
of
are
them
Republicans.
No, the Republicans want to get rid of him.
And 31 Democrats.
Yeah.
So it was most of the Republicans, most Republicans, and then 31 Democrats. Who are them Democrats? Let's talk to them.
Child.
That's crazy.
He said, I feel like due process is still alive. I feel like there's enough colleagues on both sides of the aisle here who understand that.
George
Santos
got
said.
money.
George
got money.
Yeah.
Because how you get nobody's your friend that much. They don't even know who you are to be your friend and have colleagues.
Yep.
No, George got money.
One of his own Republicans from Arkansas, Steve Womack, said, we don't need the Santos charade all the way through 2024 election cycle. I think that Congress needs to take action now. And I agree with them because this is bullshit doo-doo.
Didi said he's Nino Brown. He said if y'all vote me out, I'm telling all y'all business.
Yeah, man. He's got some. He's, because, I have a lot of speculations, but I'll leave them alone.
What's your speculation is?
Yes.
People's Uncle Grandpa said that the Miami cop reminded me of Jeffrey Wright's character, Peoples Hernandez from 2000's Shaft movie. Remember Peoples?
Oh, Shaft.
Hey, why'd you flinch?
It's too
Why'd you
early,
flinch? Oh, Shaft. Oh,
Shaft. You was a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Oh, I loved him.
For the interest of time, we're going to take a quick commercial break so we can reset the studio. And we'll have Ruth Z in here, our city councilor at large, Ruth Z, with the petties.
Yes.
Coming in to talk to us about next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, people, is election day. It's election day. Yep. I'm not sure. We can ask her about the last day to register. I'm not sure when that is. It might have passed. It might not. But if you have time, go down there. You can also early vote. Right now, straight through Tuesday, but we'll tell you all about that in a second. Keep it locked. Spark FM Online. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz. Turn it on.
Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com.
Cannafan's high-profile bodega cannabis shop is now serving Boston in 3 locations. Be sure to stop by Dorchester, Rosendale, and Roxbury for the best prices on OZs and J's. Not to mention edibles, carts, concentrates, and more. Download the high-profile app on the App Store or Google Play to keep up to date on Boston's best bundles. Experience the best prices and see how we roll at High Profile Bodega. Visit highprofilecannabis.com for additional details.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information. The all-new Spark FM.
You're the baddest one.
Spark FM. You are now listening to Spark FM. Spark FM.
Come on, do it if you switch dog. That's what it means if you kill dog. Goose, I get him with the 17 dog.
Spark FM.
Oh, yes, you kindly. Miss Jolene, oh, your mango sweet, so. Jolene, oh, your mango.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Ooh, baby. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. For urban and Caribbean coldness, because it is freezing in here.
There ain't no such thing as Caribbean coldness.
Oh, that is true too. That is very, very true. We like it warm here.
Caribbean coldness is 70 degrees.
Yes, and we don't like this here. Ruthie don't like it either.
No,
I do not.
No, we do not. Welcome, counselor. How are you?
I am doing wonderful.
Oh,
Thank
good.
That is good to hear.
Yes, you are doing wonderful. We have been seeing all the wonderful things that you have been doing in the city of Boston, and you are getting ready for Election Day.
Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
us about, Rootsy, remind us all the things that you do. Tell us who you are for those who I have no idea, who probably would not know you at this moment.
Yeah,
but there
that'd
might be
really weird.
one.
There might be.
There might be one.
There's
Maybe one.
There's some folks. So.
But for them, tell us who you are and tell us almost the platforms that you run on, because you do a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you for having me. It's a joy to be here to remind people about the election on Tuesday, November 7th.
Absolutely.
I am Ruth C. Louis-Jean, at-large city councilor in my first term, 22 months down.
Get it, girl.
Yes. Lawyer, advocate, born and raised in the city, Mattapan and Hyde Park. Daughter of Haitian immigrants. My mama's outside waiting for me in the car.
Hey, Mom, you should have had it.
She's like, let me sit in the sun outside.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in a certain angle, the sun hits you and it's warm, right?
Absolutely.
And so in my first term, I focus on the issues that folks care about the most. As an attorney, I started my career representing families facing eviction and foreclosure. Every day, basically, I'm on a call with someone trying to help them either save their housing or help them find housing. Within 5 months in office, we got someone who was homeless for more than 5 years.
What?
We placed them into permanent housing.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And 6 months later, we did it again.
Wow.
So we've been doing the work. This job for me is about the work. You come to me with your problems, and I help you find solutions. Period.
And we've
Right?
seen that. We've actually seen that. You are one of the counselors out here that I always wonder how you do it, because I feel like you walk it like you talk it. And that is something that we should be very, very, very proud of. When it comes to your advocacy and your policies and things like that, you have a lot of things on here: housing, education, racial justice and civil rights, community vitality, environmental justice, public safety, civic participation, immigrants and migrants, jobs and economic opportunity. Which one of these would you say are your top 3?
No, it's so funny because I hear that list. I'm like, man, I'm exhausted. But
man, I'm tired.
No, but for real, the issues that we have are all of them.
All of them.
All of
Yep.
them.
Mhm.
So you asked me what is the most important. It's how it started. Everyone needs that place to call home.
Yes.
Everyone needs a roof over their head at night.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that, you can't talk about stable education.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't talk about going to see your doctor for your mental health issues and your physical health issues.
Yeah.
Can't talk to you about having a job, right? It gets all really hard. So how do we make housing a reality for every person in all the different forms that we need to?
Right.
Home ownership, right?
Yes.
Rentals, Section 8 vouchers.
Oh, yes.
Increasing homeless shelters. Everything that we need to do to make sure that everyone can have a place to call home, a bed to sleep in at night. And so that's where I've been committed to, both in my first months in office, in addition to those constituent services, placing people in permanent housing. It's been fighting for millions of dollars for more vouchers for our students who come from families that are experiencing homelessness.
Yes.
For our returning citizens, so folks returning home from incarceration. Who
Recidivism.
Yeah, and if we are to really get at the issue of recidivism, you need to make sure that people are safe and secure in their home.
Absolutely.
That if you have visitation for your kids, that you have somewhere that you can actually visit with your kids.
Yeah.
These small things that we don't think about, they make a big difference in the stability of someone's life. For our new arrivals and our migrants, right?
Well, I was just about to ask you about that.
Yeah, and that's been a hard issue, but I've worked alongside the governor, the lieutenant governor, every step of the way to try to make sure that we are showing up for folks who come here and who want to work.
Right.
And what I want to dispel and what I just always want to reject is that it's a zero-sum game. Like, oh, how come they getting something, we not getting nothing?
Right.
No.
No way getting it.
We out.
Ain't nobody getting nothing really.
We out here trying to make sure everybody gets something. We're
trying to get everybody trying to make sure everybody gets the same thing.
Daniel, that was not my conclusion.
Trying to make sure everybody gets the same thing, whether it's nothing or all the things.
Yes.
Yeah. Like just because somebody's eating now, don't mean you can't eat tomorrow.
Exactly.
Or did you figure that you ate yesterday?
Exactly.
And so it's just like we just got to make sure that we are meeting the needs. We can walk and chew gum. I can care about our folks that were coming home from incarceration. Care about our new arrivals. Care about those who have been living in Section 8 for generations and who want an opportunity to home ownership.
Yeah.
We got to do all those things.
Right, because sometimes those things are a trap.
Yeah.
Not to say it like that, but they end up being.
Yeah, and we want to set people up for success.
Absolutely,
right? Long-term
absolutely.
success, long-term wealth.
This in your first term. This is your first term, and you did really, really well. You are probably one of the leading counselors when it comes to at large and making sure that your base is covered. We've seen you do a lot of work. We've also seen that there's been a lot of drama coming out of the city council.
Yes.
You have managed to escape almost all of this drama.
Bless.
How have you been able to position yourself to kind of stay out? Because we're always wondering, like, you got a public job.
Wait a minute. First of all,
know?
she Haitian. You heard her say her mama out there in the car. Her mama.
Rootsie.
Oh,
I don't know what you do.
you want to go there and embarrass me?
No, absolutely not. Okay, there goes the answer.
And you're asked and answered.
I already know.
Asked and answered. Okay.
But it's true. You know, like you can tell that, and not to say that everybody else doesn't have some really great upbringing, but I do admire the fact that you have been able to stay out of the drama. We report about the stories going through City Hall and everything every day, and I'm like, you know who ain't never in these stories? Yeah. It's always Ruthie. She ain't never in these stories.
And I love it.
And
I love
like
that
it.
for you.
I think the most one was the redistricting, which is, you know, like, which was a hard thing every 10 years. How was that for you? And, you know, like, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, it was hard. Redistricting it gets very political, right? Because imagine, I'm an at-large counselor, so for me, for my personal re-election, the lines don't matter.
You're all over,
right?
Yeah.
But if you have a district and someone's trying to change the line so that you take up this block, but people on that block don't like you, right? You're gonna try to like, no, I don't want that block, and you're not gonna say it's for political reasons. You're gonna say it's another reason, but really it's about politics. So that's one of the reasons why redistricting is so tricky, because people really have political motivations that there's some trying to pretend it's something else. And then you got to make sure that you're protecting communities that have historically been disenfranchised, Black and brown communities, people who speak different languages. Make sure that they feel empowered in the political process. And when the judge was like, "Nah, y'all did not do a good job,"
you didn't do it.
But again, she did not mention my name. Nowhere in her 43 pages did she mention my name.
It's not her.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the new? Excuse me. What are your thoughts on the new map that they came out with?
Yeah, the new map, you know, I led that process. I led the process to getting us to a new map after the judge was like, y'all didn't do it right.
Yeah.
Do this
and that's where we heard your name. I was like, okay, she swooped in real quick. Yeah.
And it was hard. You know, there's a lot of personal attacks because people really care a lot about what those lines are. And there's community members who showed up and, you know, who wanted certain things, and you try to honor as much as you can what people want. But it's a negotiation and it's politics. That was high key politics, right? That for me was how I learned about my real leadership skills, about my own style and what I would do under fire. And I'm grateful for my colleagues gave me the opportunity to lead in that instance, but also to everybody who held me down in what was like a really tumultuous, really difficult process. I remember after it passed, I was just like, I shed a tear.
Like it's over.
Yeah, and then I had me a little drink. And I was like, I did both. And it was hard, but I think that the map that we came to was a good consensus map, a compromise map. I will say that there's always more to do for next time to make sure that we really are doing everything we can to empower communities. We have to really be thoughtful about how we do that and strategic.
Very strategic.
Yeah.
Speaking of strategy, and this is not anything to do with strategy. You mentioned something that made me think of, and just you in general. And here we like to check in with you. You know, how have you been doing through this last 22 months?
Yeah.
Like, what has this experience taught you and have done for you on a personal level, emotional, even mental?
Yeah. I love this job. It is a privilege and a pleasure to get up every day and literally I ended my Friday night, and Friday nights are the nights that I try to be a little bit more about me. Chill. Yeah. Woman was facing eviction. She had nowhere to go. My boy at Boston Water and Sewer was like, he knows that he calls me anytime anyone has a housing issue. Rootsy. And I helped her figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that this is a position of privilege that I get to be in to help people.
Serve the people.
Yeah, to solve the problems, and I love it. Now, what's crazy is that the days are long.
Yeah.
Right? And I be outside.
No, I remember one day I had a meeting with you or something, and you had maybe 8 meetings.
Yeah.
And
that's a light day.
Yeah. And I think
day.
you said that. I think you said, I have a light day. I have 8 meetings today. And I said, golly.
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I don't know. God.
I literally said, how does she make it everywhere all the time? You be outside.
Number one, I love it. And there are a lot of events, especially events you see me at, that we have a lot. That's I'm with my best friends. I'm with my, it's more than just being a city council. It's about being a young Black woman in in Boston who likes to enjoy myself and have a good time, which I should be also allowed to do as I am able to work for the people. But I'll tell you something funny. Yesterday was a marathon day. I had an event in the North End. I got home at 9:03. And by I was checking my text messages. The last text message I answered last night, I was out like a light by 9:50. I was, and that, the fact that I get home and within less than an hour I am knocked out, which,
Yeah. It means you're tired.
Yeah. Sometimes.
How do you?
You've done your job for the day.
You've
5 more days till election day, so you gotta leave it. You gotta leave it all. You gotta leave it all.
But for me, it seems like even though you guys, so it's only a 2-year term, right?
Yeah.
And then I just feel, well, that's another question for another day. I
It's
feel
too
like
short,
that's too short.
It's too short.
Because you have 1 year of work and then 1 year of working and campaigning right again. So it just doesn't make sense to me. But I did, you've done a lot for the Haitian community. And I think that we've seen it. The other day I was about to write a status like, these Haitians run Boston. Zoe forever. Why is that so important to you? Even though you come from Haitian heritage, your parents and everything like that, you take care of the whole city, but you do make sure that your people are taken care of as well. We've seen programs expanded. We've seen resources allocated. So many things. You can't even be mad at that because somebody got to look out for the people. How does that make you feel? How does that make your parents feel?
And so it all goes back to my parents. So I was I'm getting a little teary-eyed because I went to go pick up my mom, and I was pulling up. I was just thinking about how my parents really didn't have anything. They came here with nothing. Poor black, didn't speak the language, try to make this cold city. We talk about cold, we ain't even see nothing, right?
Ooh, we got a little picture up here. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, that's me. That's okay, yes.
Oh,
the parentals. My mom, I should call my mom inside. But I was just pulling up to their house and I was like, my father literally came with nothing. And my dad is still 74 years old, still working inside of a kitchen at Northeastern.
Wow.
And still don't have that much. I'm still trying to make sure that they, when they retire and they come problems, that's me. That's my sisters.
Right.
But I'm like, what did my father have and what did he give me? He gave me a lot of pride.
Yeah.
He gave me a lot of sense of self.
Yeah.
And knowing that what it means to be of Haitian descent and what we mean to the world as black people, as a first free black country in the Western Hemisphere, as the only country founded from a slave revolt, and I walk in that every day.
Yeah.
Even with if you are Haitian and you hear my Creole, you will hear that I have an accent. I speak like an American when I speak Creole. Okay? But I still walk with pride.
Yeah.
And, it's funny because I'm so Haitian, but I learn Creole phrases every day because I'm American, really.
Right.
And so. But my father gave me that. If there's one thing he gave me, he was that you walk every day as a proud Haitian person.
That's
I love that. I think it's so. I love pride in culture, and I love people that take care of the culture. And I wouldn't say gatekeep, but make sure that there is something to have as tradition and culture. Caller, you're live. Spark FM online.
Good morning, Spark. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Thank you. And good morning, City Councilor. I have a question for the City Councilor. I wanted to know, during this whole citywide debate, that there was never any one talking about the murder of our children in the community. So this was not an issue on the table, question at any of the citywide councilor debates. And I feel really bad about this because I am a mother who lost her child, and all the mothers and fathers who are losing their children every day in the city, and that this is not of any concern. That, and also the city did a study, the Boston Globe in 2016 released a report on race in Boston and found that blacks, only get 1% of the contracts, the city contracts. And so I know that the mayor had a diversity survey or report, and I also know that there is also of reparations, and again, reparations wasn't touched upon at any of the citywide debates. But I also want to talk about the black people whose ancestors was brought here to America on slave ships, and those black people that are in our city who've been here all their lives.
Caller, for the sake of time, can you choose one question? You just kind of jam-packed that.
So those two. One,
the violence.
The violence is number one. And two is how I don't see how blacks whose ancestors were brought here on slave ships, how they're represented. And I don't see how...
Reparations.
Okay.
Well, not the reparations, but right now, all these city contracts that's going out, it doesn't break down by race who are getting this. It breaks it down in Dorchester, but in Dorchester there's multiple people. So I want to know how blacks are getting their fair share and how we can find out the data if we are getting our fair share.
Thank you so much. So I'm violent, reparations, and there was a second one, but we'll let her answer these two. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Ruthie. So she wanted to know about the violence. There's been a lot of killing and murder. We've seen it. We've been hearing it on the news. We know that the data actually shows that violence and killings are going down, but it seems like it's heightened. What do we say about that? And are there any plans to tackle that?
I just want to say to the caller, I'm just so deeply sorry for your loss.
And condolences, absolutely, yes.
Right. Nothing I say will ever really do justice to the size of your loss and to the depth of it. But we are, the city, we are working on issues of violence, and I like to think about it in terms of how we keeping our community safe, safety. Whenever we lose one child, whether it's a 12-year-old who gets shot on a Sunday morning in Mattapan, or a 4-year-old in Hyde Park who gets hit by a car.
Yes. Mercy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Too much.
Yep.
We need to figure out how to do a better job of taking guns out of people's hands. Because when you think about the cowardice involved in taking someone's life. It's cowardice.
Yes, it is.
It's cowardice, the ability to use a gun makes you hard. It makes and just like that, you take something, God's creation, away so quickly.
Yeah, we were just talking about that situation in Brooklyn where the man executed the father and the son. Yeah,
just tragically.
Yeah.
And so when you look at the city of Boston, like you said, the violence generally is down, but that doesn't comfort you if you have if your neighborhood you feel like it's hot or the fear of violence is still high. And so we know that the majority of gun-related violence in this city happens in concentrated areas, and it's often by people, that we have this, idea that youth violence, youth going crazy.
Yeah.
A lot of the gun violence is actually driven by older folks.
36 plus.
Who are disaffected and who have not been part of any social program for quite some time.
Yes.
And so we have to do a better job of getting them back into the fold. Sure that we are, working hard to get guns off the street. And there is a young people element, right? Because that 36-year-old was once a 14-year-old, right?
Absolutely.
Was once a 16-year-old, was once a 17-year-old. And so how are we helping our kids deal with the issues, intergenerational trauma?
Yes.
And intergenerational poverty.
Yep.
Which is why we got to focus things on, everything is so connected. Like, when you read that list, I was like, man, I'm exhausted. But all of this stuff is connected.
You're working in tandem with each other all the
Exactly.
time. Somebody need housing, somebody need food, they need house food.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah.
Someone needs cash money, right? Like, how do we help them get a job? How does the government help with cash assistance instead of them going and robbing somebody with a gun, right? My father was robbed at gunpoint outside of our Mattapan home, and I will still talk to my dad about it. And he would be like, that person probably just needed money. Robbed at gunpoint.
Yeah.
That's what my father said. That person probably just needed money.
And that the
Needed
sad
it more than I
reality
did,
is that that's probably true. Yeah. And then not necessarily reparations, but just kind of representation. It sounded like she was interested.
Equity in the contract.
Yeah. So it was really low. Right now, we announced earlier this week that we have actually gotten city-based contractors up for Black folk to 12%.
Yes.
We still have more work to do. It's not where we want to be.
And it's from 3, right?
Yeah.
Yep,
It's from
3 to 12.
2%, 3% to 12%. So we're making progress in that area. We have a reparations task force. Right now, there's actually actually a request out for like a researcher to help us really look at the history of Boston when it comes to racism, discrimination, and slavery. How our people were left out intentionally, to really help us map out and make what I think is important as a reparations. I believe in reparations. You have to make the legal case for reparations too, and you have to show exactly how the money was kept out. And then I do want to address your question because I really don't believe in like I said, the zero-sum game. That I mean, like you said, I'm proud to be Haitian. I'm helping Haitian folk, but I'm also helping returning citizens. I'm helping those coming home from incarceration, and I'm helping everybody. And I don't ask you where you're from. Show me your flag when you come to me.
I can only help you if you're Asian.
But I actually do understand that there's a uniqueness and there's a sense of like who got me among like Black folks who were brought to this country, America.
She had great points.
Right? And so I just want us to do better at realizing that like we all Black and we all in this boat together. Even though our position on the boat may look a little different. So yes, we do have to be more intentional when we're looking at African American community and be like, like making sure that that's why I think the Section 8 to home ownership program is a really great one, right? Folks for whom intergenerational poverty has been a thing, making home ownership a reality. Please. Some of the greatest constituent works that we've been able to do in my office has been on behalf of folks who live in housing developments, right? That are traditionally large African American populations, the folks that I represent. I talk a lot about the Haitian community because that's where I'm from. But as a Black woman, I talk about Black and brown folks. I talk about everybody here in this city. And so it's always a call to action to me and a reminder that like this is a true feeling. That there are folks who feel like they're being left out or they're not being heard or that they don't have the representation. But I want to reassure you that I get it. I get it even in the reparations conversation. We're talking about who we're talking about first. We're talking about those.
Do I get it?
I get it. Right. But I understand that the primacy in that conversation should be those who are direct descendants of slaves in this country. Now, we know a lot of people whose mom is Jamaican and whose dad is African American. We have all of this, right? We are this Blackness. So those conversations do get harder. But I understand the uniqueness. I understand when people are like, try to, even within us, divide us. Oh, you all, the Nigerians, they work really hard and study really hard and do well at school. All that stuff is meant to divide us. And we just have to figure out how not to buy into it. And I try really, really hard not to do that and speak up against it in every community.
Doing that. Because that is something that, again, not to toot your horn, but, I feel like although we know where you come from, we see the pride in it. I feel like you are a counselor for all. And people call you for many, many different things. And you at least return a phone call. You at least return an email or have somebody else do it. And those kind of things are important. You show up. And those things are so important just to see you. Even if you can't do nothing, showing up and actually making a difference and making your presence known. I appreciate that from you. Any last words that you want to give to the listeners and give to the people that you are appealing to who might not already be, on to what you're doing? Gang, exactly.
Sorry, I'm a little, I have my patty. So
Thank you very much.
I got my tea, so I'm a little loose. But I will just say, I just really encourage everyone to vote on November 7th, Tuesday. And I'm not going to lie to you because I grew up in the same city as y'all, like same politicians come in saying, I also recognize that one vote is not going to change your world. You're not going to feel it immediately, but it has to be part of the solution. And in these elections, when there's no mayor on the ballot, there's no senator, there's nobody but me. There's nobody but your Ricky Dink little city council. But if you care about schools, if you care about policing, if you care about housing, if you care about trash on your streets.
Oh, you mean if you care about your community?
If you care about programming.
If you care about all the things that we've been talking about this whole day, then you have to vote.
Yeah. It's important. It's really important. So tell everybody, tell your neighbors, tell your kids, tell your wife, tell your partner, tell your ex, tell everybody, your boss, your colleagues to vote on November 7th. You can vote. What do you say?
I had a discussion with someone yesterday and I told him the one thing that we're missing, the one thing that we're losing in the community is that word unity. When you vote, it shows that we're being united. It shows that there's unity in the community, and it's only showing that you want to do better and you want to involve yourself.
I love it. I think it's important. Thank you so much. Just thank you. People, November 7th, Election Day.
Tuesday.
Yes.
To about a couple of days from here. 5 days. 5 days, yeah. 5 days from now, we are all going to vote. Especially if you listen to Spark FM. If you come here and listen to this show and you don't vote, you can't listen no more.
Right.
You turn it off. It's not for you. We vote over here. We super voters over here.
That's
and
right.
we want all of our friends to be super voters too, because we want our names and our voices heard.
Absolutely.
Ruth Z, what number are you on the ballot? Do you know?
I am number 7 on the ballot. Number 1 in your
7.
hat, but number 7 on the ballot.
Number 1 in your hat.
I'm about to be nonpartisan right now. I'm telling y'all right now, Ruthie in my first. I'm gonna go to number 7 first because what she did here is she came here and brought us chicken pates. They was hot. My tongue is still burning, and you win. You win the prize.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, we've been rocking with you for a while.
Oh,
It's a pleasure to have you here. It's always good to run up with you in events and things like that. So again, thank you for what you do. We wish you the best of luck on November 7th. And we'll see you on the finish line. Where the party gonna be at?
Oh, the party will be at D-Bar in Dorchester.
Be there.
It's gonna be a time.
They have really great truffle fries.
Yeah.
They have really great food is very good.
D-Bar. But don't be coming if you didn't vote.
Yeah.
If you voted, come on now. Oh, and if you want to volunteer, hit me up on Instagram, Ruthie for Boston.
And if you want to donate,
Yes.
hit her up at Ruthie for Boston. They come in here acting all cute. They don't want to ask for donations. I'll ask for donations. If you support her work, donate a little something.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I
Absolutely.
appreciate y'all.
Spark FM Online. We are signing off for today. We will be back bright and early tomorrow for F Word Friday. Bobby Steels is up next with our afternoon brunch morning show. We'll see you guys in a few minutes. Keep it locked right here, Spark FM Online.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help